Let's go over the reading section of the TEAS test. So you have 53 questions in 64 minutes. And this one, it gives a lot of people a lot of trouble, and it's one of those things that is hard to get done in the time frame that they allot you. Let's go ahead and just get right into the topics. So there is the main ideas, topic sentences, supporting details. Those are things that you're going to need to be able to identify. You're going to need to be able to summarize text using text features. So that's kind of knowing sequences and instructions, sometimes recipes that kind of say, add this first, then add this, then add this. Those are those kind of sequences and instructions. Be able to interpret graphics like a diagram or a flow chart or a bar graph or a pie chart. Those are things that they might throw at you that you'll need to be able to kind of pull out that information, interpret it, and be able to choose the right answer. You need to know the tone and the mood and some of those transition words. Knowing the tone and the mood, look for repetitive words that are the same kind of tone. It could be kind of the same negative type words, or they could be really positive words or pessimistic, or they might be using words that are dismissive, and that's going to help you identify the tone. So those are the things that you're looking for there. No common transition words like first, second, next, now, for example, for instance, or as a result, thus, or despite, however. Those are all kind of transition words, so you need to be able to identify those and know what they are. Yeah, just become familiar with them so that you can easily identify them. You're definitely going to need to know the author's purpose and point of view. And so there's a couple different types of purpose. There is the purpose of the author to inform you, and that's a passage that's kind of presenting you with information. There are passages where the author's purpose is to persuade you. So they might give you more opinions than facts. And so that's kind of something you need to be able to tell the difference between. And so there's persuasion, and then there's the author's intent to entertain. And so be able to kind of know that. You're going to need to know kind of text features and elements that stand out. So introducing the topic and organizing information. Once you kind of see that passage, you should be able to pretty quickly understand the topic. Things you will also need to know helping the reader find information. Types of content that helps readers find information, like the table of contents. You need to know things that help emphasize concepts, and bolding words or italicizing words, underlining words, those kinds of things. Know those maps and charts. You might get something like a nutritional facts label, or a question from nutritional labels that you need to kind of be able to interpret. Or you might have a table that is summarizing data. You'll have a question asking you to kind of pull out some sort of information from that table. So you need to know how to do that. You need to know facts and opinions and evaluating an argument. So know the difference between facts and opinions. I mean, hey, general life advice, this is going to go a long way for you. Know facts and opinions. Judgments are not facts. Be able to know if an argument is valid or if it's a poor argument, and that's going to kind of be based on some of those things like opinions and facts, and whether they have a lot of those or not. Watch out for assumptions. Those can kind of trip you up. Know when something's being assumed or not. Know biases. When someone's biased, those are things that will kind of play into whether something is valid or not, whether it's trustworthy. Understand primary sources, making inferences, and drawing conclusions. So that's knowing primary sources, be able to evaluate credibility kind of in general. And so that does kind of come down to where are the sources? How credible is this particular passage or content? Know the types of sources, the date of publication. If something's super outdated, might not be that great. The author's info or bio kind of adds to credibility. Publisher's information or just kind of professionalism in general within that reading passage can kind of be a lot of clues that will help you answer a lot of the questions on the test. We talked a little bit about types of passages, so you do need to know that. Types of passages, text structure, genre, theme. So, those types of passages that you need to know are the narrative, expository, technical, and persuasive. Text structures are sequences, comparing and contrasting, cause and effect, problem solution, and then genres are going to be things like fiction, nonfiction. So, those should be pretty easy for you to identify, but know those. And that actually covers everything. So that's each and every topic that you're going to see on the test. It is not always so cut and dry. Like we talked about in English, there's a lot of rules, very rule-based, and that makes things kind of black and white. But for reading, it's not as much black and white. It's a lot of interpretation. It's a lot of understanding things and being able to identify, facts and opinions or what type of passage it is. And it can be pretty tricky. It can be hard to identify that stuff. So just study this stuff, really know and understand a lot of the topics that we just outlined, and you should do pretty well on the test. Check out the TEAS Tutor online course and the study guide. This stuff goes really in depth in all of those topics. So hopefully this is helpful for you, and good luck on this section of the test.